What makes a game casual? It is targeted at mass audience, A. It can fit in any genre, puzzle game, card game, board game, etc. It requires no special skills to play. It should be really easy to play, and you should be able to quickly reach the final stage without having a lot of game playing skills. It requires no long-term commitment to play. You saw the typical hardcore gamer. It doesn't require you to sit in front of your console or in front of your machine or in front of your mobile for hours and hours. So allowing the game play in short bursts. And a typical game user of casual games is older. There is a high female population in these gamers. So why have them on a mobile? And if we look at what a casual game is, it answers the question. It is targeted at mass audience. Okay, mobile is available with mass audience. It can fit in any genre, so you can put all these games on mobile. It requires no spatial skills to play, really no fancy keys, joysticks, nothing. You should be able to simply play. It requires no long-term commitment, allowing gameplay in short bursts, so that if you are waiting somewhere, you are traveling, you are in a queue, you can play it. In typical user is older, high female population. So basically, which means that with your casual games on mobile, you can reach a high number of users. So it makes a good case for us as developers or us as entrepreneurs to have casual games as the product to be developed on mobile devices. Now let's talk about India's story. Okay. This is what the analysts say. Indian mobile gaming market is growing in excess of 200%. You can read the detailed report on plus.in. It is expected to reach 450 million users in 2012. It is shown that time spent on mobile gaming is around 7.5% of the total time spent on the mobile phones. Okay, while this is a small time percentage of the total time spent on entertainment, this trend is growing. The choice of game selection differs between the age group and gender. While most popular mobile games are established genre games, there is a spike in popularity of the games inspired by Bollywood, Hollywood movies, and games inspired by cricket. So basically, you can use the B and C of the ABCs of Indian content. Okay, astrology, Bollywood, and cricket. The two can fit with the mobile games. So there is a huge window of opportunity for the vast players, and a lot of Indian companies are now entering this arena. So mobile games is a hot market, okay, no second thoughts about that. It is just not a hot market in India, the story is same worldwide. iPhone has made it even bigger. Most of you are developers, so it's a developer conference. Either you are going to launch your own mobile game, or you are going to work for your services customer who is willing to build a mobile game. So likely that you will come across this vast segment sooner or later. So hence we are here talking about casual mobile games in this dev conference. So let's look at a few of them. Let's try to understand the category types. Let's try to understand the differentiators. Let's try to understand the challenges. Okay, shown on the slide is the first mobile game launched by Nokia, Snake, in 1997. That's where all this started. Second game, Bubble Breaker on Windows Mobile. I was at a tea stall or chai ki tapri in Pune couple of days back, and the owner was playing Bubble Breaker on his HTC Touch. Okay, so it's really a popular game. Puzzle Bobble, launched by Taito Corporation. Video is one of the highly popular games that people play. With iPhone, there is a new category of games which are accelerometer games. You can use iPhone's accelerometer to play the games, makes the gameplay really very interesting. Lot of real estate, touch interface, so you have really good card games also on iPhone. These were some of the games that you can see as an example. What are the other categories? There are some games which are just text-based, some SMS-based games, bot fighter. Other there are a few location-based games. So phones are coming with GPS and games are making use of the location of the user. Example is treasure hunt. There are multiplayer games. So few of the games are limited to single player usage, but now the categories of multiplayer games are growing. Social games. Okay? Everything is becoming social. Why not make gaming social? So if you are a game developer, either for your own product or for your services customer, you need to understand what is the category of the game that you are developing, and you need to understand the nitty-gritties of game development for that category. So I will explain this point by taking one of these categories, which is multiplayer games. So let's look at multiplayer gaming challenges. Where and when people play. Where and when can people play a multiplayer game? So when there is plenty of idle time while traveling, yes. Maybe there are some places and time slots suitable for gaming. Okay, you are at a funeral, you have a lot of idle time, but you won't play a game. Okay, there are some other times and places where you would do that. There are interrupts in playing. Phone calls can come, messages can come, people can get disturbed. They will leave the multiplayer session and go back and check the message or take a call. The battery can go flat. There are some not tech interrupts. Somebody is waiting on a bus stop and playing a game. A bus comes, she stops playing. The other multiplayer gamer gets screwed because this guy has left the session. Now communication. Okay, mobile networks. Multiplayer games, you are of course playing them over a network, you have to pay some price and latency. You can do that over Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, but the trend, the numbers are not really high showing that trend. However, there can be a social pressure because of which people can get hooked on such games because your buddies are playing, your friends are playing, it's a trend in a college, everybody gets it and gets onto it, gets hooked on. Okay. So, is gaming yet socially accepted? You need to find a answer to that. So, if you want to write or build a multiplayer game, you really need to think hard about all of these questions. How are you going to handle such kind of issues? Does the game store its state? When you get a call, does the other player get the notification that you are not being able to play? How do you indicate the other people that the next move is being done by the partner? All these things you need to think about. So, before you begin game development, you need to take care of few things, you need to think about a few things. Most probably, again, I am going to stress on this, there are two categories. Either you want to build a game yourself because you like the idea and you want to launch it. Or you are working on a services project where your customer wants to get the game developed. The second case and the first case, both have some different challenges. Okay. And let's talk about that. You need to understand that we are developers. We are not game designers. Now, good games require good design. So just because you are a developer, don't think that you will be able to make a game that will sell like a hot cake. Your game design has to be really good. Okay. You may implement it very well, but that's not sufficient. So profitable gaming projects require good design. So when you are working on services project to make it profitable for your company, even for that the design has to be good because a lot of time will be wasted otherwise. And I'll come to that. So especially if the project is a fixed bid project and you are wasting time because the design is not clear or it is not good, basically your company is losing profits on that services project. So let's take an example of an iPhone game. I ask you to create a game like Tetris, which has 20 levels. I am a customer, I say this is how Tetris works, go and implement it. All of you are smart developers, you know iPhone SDK very well. You go to your office, build it very fast, ship it to the customer. And you think that you are done with the game development because you have written the logic, you have written the scoring, the game works, the levels work correctly.